All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very excited for our guest today. I was able to discover Barbara about a year ago, I think now. I have had the opportunity to work with Barbara, changed my life, such a huge impact. Barbara today is a certified clinical and medical hypnotherapist, a certified energy healing specialist. You also do work with prana, you're a Reiki master. I mean, the list goes on and on. Barbara wrote a book called Gentle Energy Touch, A Beginner's Guide to Energy Healing and Identifying the Energy Drainers in Your Life, which I love. And last but not least, she has an amazing podcast called the Spiritual Warrior Coach Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, you name it. She is an expert, and I am so excited to have you on today, Barbara. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm honored to be here. I'm so happy.
Oh my gosh.
How
Well,
are
I'm
you?
honored. I'm good. I actually, for our listeners, discovered Barbara looking through Google, okay, a year ago when I was going through some of the hardest times in my life. Personally, I started Googling healing and Reiki and energy clearing in my local area, and I discovered you, Barbara. And I remember going in and tell you a little bit about what I was going through personally at that time. And I did, I think, 2 or 3 sessions with you. And wow. I mean, if you don't believe in energy healing, it's a real thing. And then just talking to you, I kept saying, like, you have this effect on people where you're very calming and a beautiful listener, and just everything you're about with spirituality, it really resonated with me. So I can't wait to share so much of what you do with our guests.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I've been doing this a very long time. So,
How did you get into it?
well, my grandma was a healer, and I was born in 1948. So actually, I just turned 75 this past Sunday. So,
Oh my God. And
uh,
you're a Virgo?
yes, a Virgo. Yeah, yay.
Same.
My grandma was a healer, and she always used to do healing on my sister and I. And as a child, I would always see things, feel things. I had a bunch of imaginary friends. And so my grandma, who was a healer from Istanbul, actually helped me to understand what energy healing was all about. And she would always do healing on my sister and I. And it was very magical. And I had that sense of that I didn't belong in this world. But of course I did, at this time and for quite many years to come. And she showed me what healing is all about. And her whole thing was actually to listen to yourself, to listen to your intuitive abilities, to know who you are. She would always tell me, she'd call me Babasita. And she would say, Babasita, if anyone says anything negative about you or to you, just take those words and throw them to the ground with love and light and healing, because that's not who you are. So all the years that I was very grateful to have her, she actually developed my healing abilities. And back in the 50s, 60s, it was something that you really never spoke about because people would think that you were
You're a
crazy.
little weird. Yeah.
Yeah, a little weird or witchy. So I always kept it, undercover. And then after she passed away, I actually completely got away from it. And then many years after, because I was now getting sick because I wasn't being my authentic self, I actually started getting back into the healing modality. And I've been doing it now for 35 years.
Wow.
So
This is
yeah,
so
it's
incredible.
it's a
And you're
long
changing
journey.
lives here.
What? I'm sorry.
I said you're changing lives here,
Oh,
like how you make people feel, how you teach them how to handle things through clearing or affirmations, meditation. Like it really is a lifestyle and how much it affects
mhm.
somebody. So I want to get into a little bit about what I think the listeners are going to want. I want to talk about, energy clearing and protection. I want to talk about affirmations and just how you do this. So let's start off by protecting energy, right? Often people say, oh, like they have such bad energy. And it really does affect you when you're around somebody who has bad energy, or you yourself, your energy's off, or
Mhm.
whatever that is. Can you tell us a little bit, and probably you talked about this in the book, of how you clear someone's energy or your own energy, and what does that look like, and how do people do that?
Yeah. Well, the majority of the times it's really the thought forms from ourself and from other people. You can walk into a room and you tend to stay away from someone because again, that energy feels very heavy. And so I always tell people the best way to clear your energy, especially if you just feel a little off or not centered or balanced. Um, what I do every single morning in the shower to clear my energy is I visualize the shower as, and I use the word God without any religion associated with it. Okay. I ask God to clear my energy of anything that may have attached to me that is not of mine, and I just, with a sweeping motion downward, I clear my energy. And then I just visualize my back, in front of me, and I do the same thing on a sweeping motion downward. Now, you never go up because you can actually contaminate yourself by bringing that energy up. So you always want to sweep on a sweeping motion downward. And then I send that energy down the drain with love and light and healing. And then I visualize myself stepping into a bubble of protective light. And
Wow.
then I visualize someone actually running towards me and then bouncing off of that light. So I know that energetically I'm protected so that anyone's thought forms or their energy will not interfere with my energy field. So
Well, you're
it's
almost like
important.
visualizing a bubble that
Right.
nobody can get through to your soul in a negative way.
Right. So I just step into
Wow.
that light. And during the course of the day, I also do that before my clients. I ask God to step in, to put me into a protective shield, which
Okay.
is a bubble of light. And I do the same for my clients. So, because I do not want them to pick up my energy and vice versa, because we need to protect our energies on all level. So I do that on a daily basis. And then what I also do, if I feel a little off centered, is I do a quick grounding meditation for myself. So I just many a times just sit still, or you can stand and just take some nice slow, breaths in, and then you visualize roots growing from the soles of your feet, growing all the way down into Mother Earth. And then you feel Mother Earth's energy coming back up into your being, because Mother Earth's energy is filled with love and light and healing. All
That's
right.
right.
And then you just simply open your eyes and you have that feeling of being grounded and centered and balanced. So it's important that we ground ourselves every day and we also clear ourselves every day, because many times we feel off and we actually do not understand why we're feeling this way. And it's because we've picked up other people's energies. Some energies are great, some energies are not so great. So we want to stay away from that. That doesn't serve us any purpose.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And you really have to get into that routine of practicing that and do it like you do it in the shower, of in our busy lives, taking time out of our day to really dedicate space to be able to, whether that's meditation, visualization, clearing your own energy, protecting your energy, focusing on this. It's so important. So how so these techniques are really useful. And I think it's important for us to understand, how do you identify an energy drainer in your life? So, God forbid it's your close family member, or maybe it's your spouse. I don't know. It could be somebody, it could be a boss.
Mhm.
You're going to have people who are going to drain your energy. And how do you, is it like, if you don't have a gut instinct or a strong intuition like yourself, is it just like how they make you feel? How do you really identify them and know that
It's
somebody's
it's
a
how
drainer?
it's how they make you feel. I'll give you some examples. Like, say, um, someone is a drama queen, okay, or a drama king or queen. It could be either or.
Yep.
They're constantly exaggerating, and then you listen to them constantly, and they're over and over. It's all drama all the time. So something.
Negativity.
Right, negativity. So
Yeah.
that drains your energy. Someone that is constantly blaming other people, will also blame, take away your energy. Then you have also someone that is definitely the narcissist individual who thinks that they're 100% right and you're 100% wrong, when you're probably the one that's right and they are the one that's wrong. So there's a lot of different types of individuals out there that drain us. So the thing is to be aware of how you're feeling, and if it doesn't feel right, you use your voice in a very loving and kind way to try to get away from these people, because it's like anything else. If you constantly stay with people that bring you down or drain your energy,
That's right.
you're not going to be able to fulfill the things that you need to do in your lifetime. And so it's so important I have to say, just to be more aware of the words that they're talking and saying to you, be aware of their actions, and be aware of their emotions. You could be around someone who is constantly, yeah, emotionally sad. And what happens is you're going to pick up that sadness. So the thing is to understand that that is not your feeling, that is somebody else's. So it's important to understand how we are feeling and to try to really stay into our own energy at all times, if you're able to. Sometimes we're just not. I mean, there are times I get a little ungrounded by someone, but then when that person leaves, or if I'm able to then step away from them, again, I just simply go somewhere and just visualize God or my angels or loved ones just clearing me, just clearing my energy. And then again, I just step into that protective shield. I'm also very big on prayers, which help, that I keep in my home, in my office, that also, and also on me, that helps clear my energy too.
Oh, I love that. Okay, I want to talk
Mhm.
about that in a minute. So, we've been talking about a lot of energy healing, and I know you're a specialist there, and you also are certified Reiki teacher. What is the difference there between Reiki and energy healing, or is it the same thing?
My grandma was an energy healer, and I actually went to many classes because I need this. It's hard to go to a company and say, well, I'm a healer, unless you have certification. So I actually went and learned Reiki on for many years. And honestly, in my heart, there's really no difference. All we need to do is just ask for the energy, and it's there. Now, in Reiki, they use the symbols, Choco Rei, Seihaki, Hanshin Seichin, and they use symbols. But in my heart, as a teacher of healing, I feel that all we need to do is just ask. We we truly do not need any symbols unless that's what you believe in. Okay. All we need to do is ask, and the energy is always there for us. It's available 24/7. And I tell many of my clients that sometimes they're having a rough day or they feel very stressed. I tell them, just sit back, put your hands like this, and just ask God or whomever you pray to, all right?
The
To just
universe, I do the universe.
right, the universe, to just calm me, to please, clear me of any energies that may have attached to me. And I tell them, just breathe, relax, and feel your hand on your heart and feel the love that is there for you. Feel your hand on your solar plex area, which is all about you and your power, your determination, your own control. And so when we do this, we actually begin to feel our hands start to heat up because we are asking for healing. And it's a way of just calming us on a daily basis. Sometimes, when I'm at a red light and I've had some people crazy, around me, road rage type of thing,
Yeah.
I just do this for a moment. And I say, all right, I need to just, send them all love and light and healing, and I'm okay. I'm okay. So we need to know that we are okay. Our words have a lot of meanings. And if you wake up in the morning and you say, I don't feel good, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm this, guess what? The the subconscious mind does not know what is real or not real. And so whatever we speak, then the conscious person thinks, our conscious mind thinks it's actually real. So, getting back to your Reiki, and energy healing, universal healing, divine healing, it's actually all the same. It's just how you word it and how you look at it. That's all.
I love that. That's so great. Okay, let's talk about affirmations. I don't know
Mhm.
if that's different for prayer, but you gave me the couple times I saw you some great affirmations. You sent them to me via email. I have tried to keep that up in my spiritual practice every single week, day. Sometimes I'm better, sometimes I'm worse at practicing it, but you know, I have a routine where every morning before I open my eyes, or I open my eyes and then close them back, I'm laying in bed, and I try for like 3 minutes to just picture a white light shining on me, healing me. And I say, I am happy, I am healthy, and I am wealthy. That's how I start my day. And I kind of repeat it in my head and picture this light. And that's, I think, something that's really carried me through hard times and helps me start my day with great energy, feeling gratitude, and putting good things out in the universe. So, talk to me a little bit about affirmations and how people should use them. And what are your favorites?
Well, affirmations are just positive statements.
Okay.
And what you want to do is write some that speak to you. Like, uh, I every morning, when before I get out of bed, I open my eyes and I always say, thank you, God, for the fact that I'm able to open my eyes. Thank you that I'm able to get out of bed on my own. And so I show complete gratitude uh, on a constant basis every single day, because I am grateful for who I am, and that I'm healthy, because when we're healthy, we have wealth, is how I feel.
Right.
So affirmations should be done. That's, again, on a daily basis. And some people say, oh gee, if I say this, they think it's not going to work, but it does work, because what it does, it actually changes your way of thinking from a negative thought form into a positive thought form. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't happen overnight. You need to do it on a daily basis, and you need to know, trust, feel, and believe without a doubt that it is truly working. And so, one of my favorite affirmations that I've made for myself many years ago is, I am free to be me, and so I shall be.
Oh,
And I
love that.
actually did that one because my father, he should rest in peace. Dad, I love you. But, he always said, women should be at home pregnant and blah, blah. He was a little bit of a male chauvinist.
Yeah.
And so, and I was very independent. I always worked. I always tried to get ahead, and do the best that I could do. And so I would always look at him and say, well, I am free to be me, and so I shall be. And of course, he'd get crazy with it, but it's something that it was who I am. And so it's important to find something that works for you. The I am is extremely powerful, because it's who we are. It's our higher selves talking to us. So I always say, I am happy, I am calm, I am peaceful, I am filled with love and light and healing. I am able to I am, knowing that I respect myself. So there's so many different kinds of affirmations that we can talk about, but the thing is to find ones that you feel that you need to develop, maybe some of your goals. So if it's weight loss, maybe concentrate on some of weight loss affirmations, like I am healthy, I eat healthy, things like that. Not that I am fat, I am this, I can't do this. We want to always make those affirmations in a very positive, loving way, so that, again, the subconscious mind hears it, and then it shoots over to the conscious mind, and then it becomes who we are.
And it really shifts it where you're at, what you're going through. I mean, if I'm going to relate this back to the year ago when I saw you and I was going through the hardest times, I used to tell myself, I am strong and I am worthy. So
Mhm.
I was telling myself I could get through this time by just saying, I am strong and I am worthy. And then I started believing it.
Exactly.
because I was telling myself I'm strong. And then today it's, wow, I am grateful. I have so much abundance. I am loved. Like it kind of changes. I think people don't understand if you say it. And this goes with everything you just talked about, the
Mhm.
visualization. You could just say it to yourself in your head. People always say, when you do affirmations or you do this, do you say it out loud? It's so personal. It's like, sometimes I say it out loud, but most of the time it's just saying it to myself in my own head,
Mhm.
closing my eyes and really believing it, right? Do you say it out loud or is it in your head?
I many times I say it in my head. However, many years ago, when I had actually challenges loving myself for who I was, because my parents would always say, you're a witch. What are you doing? So there was a lot of negative around me for many, many, many
Oh,
years.
so
And
sorry.
so I didn't love myself for who I was because I thought it was weird, but I wasn't weird. It was me, but I actually had to, make sure that I knew who I was. And so I would actually write, I love myself on a post-it and I put it on the mirror. And every day I'd look at it and say, I love myself. And then I'd say, yeah, right. You don't love yourself. So this went on for quite a while. And I would look at myself in my eyes and say, all right, Barbara, I love you. And it wasn't, I was like lying to myself, you could say. But then over a little period of time, I'd say maybe 2, 3 weeks, one day, I actually looked in the mirror and I said, Barbara, I love you. And I actually knew that I loved me. So it's like anything
Oh my
else.
God, Barbara, I'm gonna start crying. That is so sweet. Whew.
Feel it, and it's so important to look to look in the mirror at yourself in your eyes and say, I love you for who you are. And then every day I would say, Barbara, I love you for who you are. You are free to be who you are meant to be. Listen to yourself, trust your intuition, feel, that light that is truly within you, and don't allow anyone to take it from you. So I started saying all these things to myself. And then I finally came out as who I was, which was I am an energy healer and hypnotherapist. So, but I needed to love me first
That's
in
right.
order to do any of this work, because it's so important to love ourselves for who we are.
That's right.
You know,
And that's
I
where
I,
you
I tell
find and
many.
live your purpose.
Exactly. And I tell so many of my parents, that I see, what you tell your children is so important. Don't tell them, well, you're not enough, or you're ugly, or your hair is not good, or whatever it is, because then you're planting this little seed in their head. And then that little seed, the more you say those words to them, those negative words to them, begins to sprout. And then as they get older and become an adult, they truly believe that is who they really are. When that's not who they are, that's somebody else's feelings and emotions and words telling them who they are. But they're not that.
Powerful.
So it's so important that we do think positive to ourselves on a daily basis, no matter what is going on. The thing we don't want to do is become a victim of things that happen to us,
Oh God, yeah. So true.
because
Gosh, thank
everybody
you.
goes through stuff. Yeah. I
That
mean,
was
a few months ago, I fell over my girlfriend's dog and I
oh,
fractured my T12. And don't get me wrong, I was in pain. I did my healing every day, and I went to a doctor who does upper cervical, who really did miracles. I could have become a victim of it. I could have been angry that this happened to me, but I said, you know what? Thank you, God, because evidently there was some messages that I didn't recognize that maybe I needed to slow down a little bit. And
everything happens for a
sometimes something
reason.
happens to us that makes us slow down.
That's right. That's right. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, I know we're getting close to time. I don't want to hold you. You have shared so many practical tips here on how to use affirmations, how to clear your own energy, like just a wealth of knowledge. I know you do a lot of guided meditations.
Mhm.
Um, I'm wondering if you could end this episode with like a 1 to 2 minute guided meditation where my listeners could, if they're driving, just drive. But if they're in their homes, maybe close their eyes and you could walk us through something.
Yeah, well, actually, if they're driving, they should turn it off because we don't
Do
want
it later. Do it later.
do it later. So, maybe they need to just settle in to a very comfortable position and just allow your eyes to close.
Hey, I'm going to
And
do it.
um, this is a sacred moment dedicated to your wellness. So now just bring your attention to your breathing. And your breath is your life force and always with you. So now take a nice, slow, deep breath in and slowly exhaling. And as you breathe in feelings of peace, calm, and tranquility. And as you exhale, let go of any tension and any stress. That's right, it's time now to let it go. So just breathe and relax. So now imagine visualizing yourself walking through a golden wooden gate. And as you do, you see a sign up ahead, and the sign says, "Welcome to your garden of life." So now just look around and notice how beautiful the flowers are, and the grass, and the beautiful trees, listening to the birds serenading you with their songs, and noticing the blue skies above and the clouds so effortlessly hanging in the sky. And up ahead, you notice a beautiful tree. So I'd like you to just sit by this tree. And on the branches, there's beautiful butterflies in all different colors. And you feel so calm and so very, very relaxed. And as you rest here, simply breathing in and breathing out, just visualize roots growing from the soles of your feet, moving all the way down into the core of the tree's roots, connecting you to the loving and kindness of Mother Earth's energy. And you realize you are as unique and special as the tree is, and you feel its wisdom, freedom, and gifts of abundance. And you take a moment and to observe how you feel. And you feel centered, balanced, and grounded, as strong as the tree. What a wonderful, beautiful gift. Living in the moment, loving yourself, and being connected to everything around you. And when you focus on the present moment, nothing else matters. And as the rays of the sun kiss your skin, you know that you are as flexible, stable, and loving as everything around you. Your inner being knows exactly who you are, and feel this love beaming down on your face from the sun's energy, nourishing you. And you hear these empowering words from above. I am grateful for my life. I have everything I need at this moment. I am stronger than I realize. And I love and accept myself for who I am. and I am free to be me, and so I shall be. And I deserve peace and harmony, and I remember to simply breathe and relax. When you are ready, leave your garden of life and feel the gratitude within your soul. Know that this place of beauty and unlimited possibilities are always there for you. And all you need to do is just to breathe and relax. So now come back slowly into the room that you are in, breathing mindfully and giving thanks for this place of solitude. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes and fill your day with positive energy, love, light, and wholeness.
Whew.
Oh, I
That's
almost put myself to
beautiful.
sleep.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you for that gift, Barbara.
Oh,
That was gorgeous.
my pleasure.
And
Thank
exactly
you.
what I needed today. Wow. That is really cool that you can do that. What a gift you have, Barbara. Thank you so
Well, you're
much for
welcome.
sharing everything with us today. I just have been so blessed to know you, and thank you for spreading all the positivity and good energy out in the universe. So I will make sure that in the notes we link out all of the information of how you can get in touch with Barbara, her podcast, because she gives all this. I'm on your email list and you send out so many great practical guides. I love following you on social media. So we'll make sure to put that all in the notes. Thank you, Barbara. It's been so great. I know I'm going to have you on again.
Well, thank you for having me. It's my honor.
Of course. All
Thank
right,
you.
everybody. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I'm so calm. I'm ready to take a nap and just get myself into a state of peace. Thank you. Congratulations, you made it to the end of this episode. You invested in yourself. I am so happy you are here. Make sure to subscribe so you do not miss another episode in Epic Conversation. And if you want to stay up to date on all things the Custom Made Podcast, make sure to subscribe, follow us on social, and you can always check out my website, kellyhelfman.com, and click on the podcast. I'll see you next week.